Appreciate each and every one of you being here tonight. Appreciate this forum and the opportunity for us to have a conversation and talk about some of the issues that are important to you. So by way of introduction, as was stated, my name is Garrett Leeds. I have lived in Oregon most of my life. I'm a single dad. I work for a company in Monmouth that provides services for people with developmental disabilities. I've done that almost my entire career. Graduated from Portland State University with a degree in social sciences and a certificate in rural social services. So I am running because I want to help make Oregon a better place. I think Oregon is a wonderful place. I love living here. I would rather live here than any other state. But I think we have room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. I would like to see Oregon be more free. I would like to see Oregon be a better place for my daughter and everyone else's children to grow up and have all the opportunities to be the best they can be. So, thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm State Representative Mike Neerman. So if you live House District 23 has Philomath and Corvallis kind of surrounded on three sides. So if you live in some of the rural areas outside of Corvallis and Philomath, then chances are that I'm your state representative. So the most necessary part of my job, we do two things in the state capitol, is we pass policy bills, so we make laws, and we also spend money. We go shopping with the taxpayers' money. And that's where I come in. We've had now about 30 years of one-party rule, and we have gotten to the point now where the public employee unions and the Democrats are proposing Measure 97, which is going to be a 30% increase in the discretionary spending of the state of Oregon. That's a massive increase, and we can't afford that. And so part of my job is to be a contrary voice to what is 30 years of one-party rule in the state capitol. So that's what I work hard for. I'm glad to see tonight. I love doing these League of Women Voters forums. It's a great way for me to get out and meet the voters. And all I got to do is put on a tie and show up, and they set up everything and all that. So I'm very happy about that. The last time I was here, we had about 50 MECHA protesters in the back that were here to greet me, and I think they were here for me. After that event, they ended up vandalizing one of my signs, and someone was so cocksure of themselves that they put a picture of themselves vandalizing one of my signs up on Facebook. So I took that down to the Polk County Sheriff, and they were arrested. And among other things, community service, they also had to make a donation to my campaign. So I'm grateful for that. So tonight we have a different crowd. So like I said, last time we were here, we had the First Amendment in the back row. Tonight we have the Second Amendment in the back row, and I appreciate you guys for coming out.
Well, speaking of community service, I believe in community service, just not that kind of community service. That's why I'm running. I'm Alex Polikoff. I'm representing the Pacific Green Party in District 23. Again, I believe in serving my community in the state. I'm too old to be a volunteer firefighter anymore, so I serve on the board of the rural fire district. But I mean, the main reason I'm running is really to represent a progressive voice in the district, to give voters that choice. So that's not something that's well represented in the legislature right now. So, I mean, among other things, call me crazy, but I believe Oregonians have a right to health care. I think that should be a basic right, not a privilege for those that can afford it. So just a couple things that if I was fortunate enough to get elected that I would actually press for. So universal health coverage is something I believe strongly in. And we can do that. There's, we spend twice as much as other countries, but other countries actually have that and we don't. So another thing I really believe strongly in is money has pretty much corrupted our political system, and I don't think I need to remind anybody what's going on nationally. So one thing I would really like to see is public campaign financing. I would like to see money get out of our election system. as well as voting reform. So the Constitution allows for preference voting, and there's a ballot measure, 2-100, which is called ranked choice voting. It actually allows you to vote for who you want to and not worry about your vote getting thrown away, which I'm sure nobody feels that in the national election this year. So there's other things that I'm interested in pushing, like a state bank, as well as 100% renewable energy here and a carbon tax and dividend, but that's my time, so I'll give it to Jim.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Thompson. I'm running as an independent in this particular district. I have been in the district since 1965 in city council, fire department positions, whatnot. And I spent 3 terms in the legislature, 2 sessions ago. I served on the Healthcare Committee, the Agricultural Natural Resources Committee, and the Business and Labor Committee. Most of my time was spent in healthcare because I was either the vice chair or the co-chair of that committee, and when you are in a position like that, that's where you spend most of your time, because that's where the workload is. So I'm deeply involved in changing the healthcare system. My background is in healthcare. I worked in asthma and allergy treatment for my career, and that sort of got me aligned for that. I have a vision that we can reach a time where we can provide more health care for more people for less cost. And I think we can achieve that here in Oregon. In fact, we've gone some length in that direction already, but a lot more work to do. The big issue for me is access for rural Oregon. We do not have good access to health care for people in rural Oregon communities. They have to drive too far, and very often they don't have an access point that will accept their insurance, Medicaid or Medicare, so it's a big issue. Secondly, for me, is economic development in rural Oregon. We have 2 Oregons right now, the metropolitan areas where most of the money is going for business and job development, and rural Oregon where very little is happening in terms of jobs and business development. We have to even that out, or we're going to be in big trouble sooner than we would like to. It looks like my time is about up there.
Just hang on to that up there, because we're moving into the question and answer period. We will have approximately half an hour for Q&A. Again, we will be alternating between questions that you've provided on cards that haven't gone through in the back, and then also at the microphone. One of the things I did forget to mention is that you will notice we have the Orange Media Network here videotaping, filming this event. And what we will do is we'll find information and we'll post it on our Facebook page as to how you can access it if people were not able to come tonight and you want to make sure that all your friends and neighbors have an opportunity to hear from the candidates. So, again, the candidates will have 1 minute to answer the question, and they don't have to answer it if they don't wish to. They can pass. So the first question from the floor is, how do you plan to work for the benefit of all Oregonians and not just your political party?
Well, I think I did that. I have a history of working across the aisle, which has gotten me into some trouble, but I have been very, very much of the attitude that the legislature is the people's board of directors. When people go there, they should behave as a board of directors, get the work done for the state of Oregon, and go home. It doesn't always happen that way because it becomes very political. People start throwing rocks, and in the process of that, a whole lot of time is wasted when nothing gets done. And we can do better than that. Oregonians are not out of that mold traditionally. So I guess my answer to that question, I have always worked for the good of all Oregonians, and I think my record would show that.
Let's see, what party structure, Mike? As far as being beholden to the Green Party, Green Party is more collaboration of ideals. There's really no party structure, and there's also really no campaign donors to worry about. I mean, you look at the two major parties, it's just awash in campaign donations. I'm sure the gentlemen here aren't part of that, but you know, when you have people donating a lot of money to run high expensive campaigns, there is some responsibility there. So again, I would not be beholden to anybody except what I feel is best for Oregonians overall and my district in particular. So that's pretty much where I'm at as far as being beholden to party structure.
Thanks for the question. When Oregon spends its money foolishly, all people are hurt, from all political parties, from all stripes. And so when we spend $300 million on a website that never sees the light of day, that hurts all Oregonians. And when we spend $180 million on a bridge up there and no shovel ever touched the ground, that hurts all Oregonians of all political stripes. And even in our own backyard here, when we spend, you know, it was supposed to be, $100 million, and it turned into $357 million on the Pioneer Mountain Eddyville highway there. That wasted money hurts all Oregonians. That's money that could be used for healthcare or for education or roads or whatever. But that's important, and that's what I do in the legislature to keep things on track for all Oregonians.
So as a libertarian, if I were to be elected, there's going to be very few libertarians in the legislature. We have, I think, a chance to have a couple of us elected this year. We would be probably the first ones. We're not going to be part of a large group, a large caucus, and we are going to be able to spend time in the legislature voting on principle. The way I would represent all Oregonians is to let you have opportunities to make your own decisions. Let you have as much opportunity as you can to keep your own money instead of the government taking it in taxes and spending it on what the legislature and the governor see fit to spend it on. You know your money the best. You know your life the best. You know what will make you happy and be best for your family, and that's what I will support.
Okay, do we have anyone who would like to take the mic? If not, I'll ask the next question from the cards. Affordable housing is an issue throughout the state. What moves do you favor to improve availability of affordable housing?
So I think one of the simplest things we can do to improve the availability of housing would be to reduce property taxes and to reduce the regulation. The fewer regulations there are on what materials you have to use, things like that, the cheaper it's going to be to build homes, to build apartments. And that's going to allow people to build more. It's going to increase the supply that's out there. As the supply increases, that's going to allow people, or allow prices to come down, which will also make it more affordable for people. So the more we can do to decrease taxes and regulation and increase availability and supply and competition, the better it's going to be.